Ohio State has been arguably the best team in the country all year long, and they've got a chance to prove that tonight as they go on to try and win a national championship. But this season hasn't all been easy. The Buckeyes had not just one, but two starters on the offensive line get hurt, and there were some major concerns mid-season that the Buckeyes' injuries in the trenches may be too much to overcome. But they have had a major unsung hero this season who is a prospect I liked quite a bit this summer, but has been an absolute superstar for the Buckeyes in 2024, and that is left guard Donovan Jackson. Jakcson is a multi-year starter along the Buckeyes offensive line and has put out some incredible tape this year. How high could Jakcson get selected in the 2025 NFL Draft? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board with over 500 prospects and counting. You can find all of the analytics, combine and pro day numbers, and all the information you guys need to be successful this draft season. Leave a comment and let me know which prospects you guys would like to see in a future video, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Donovan Jackson. Jakcson was another player who decided to come back to Ohio State in 2024 as part of the big NIL fund, and he's made himself a lot of money this year. His 2023 season was really solid. He played in 825 snaps for the Buckeyes, allowing just 10 pressures and 1 sack on the year. He came back to school and played pretty well at left guard at the beginning of the season before Josh Simmons tore his ACL. The Buckeyes decided to kick Jakcson out to left tackle, where he's been pretty awesome for them this year. He's played in 752 snaps this year, allowing 19 pressures and 2 sacks, which isn't bad considering nearly 500 of those snaps have come out of position, and the 2 sacks were against Nebraska and Penn State. He's going to be a very interesting conversation to have this draft cycle. Jakcson has the ideal weight and frame to play on the interior of the offensive line at the next level. He's 6'4", 320 pounds, and has the ideal length to be a starting guard at the next level. I think his lower body in particular, with his low stance, make him a really good fit on the interior, but I also think his size could be translatable to tackle, and we've seen him hold up pretty nicely there over the last few weeks. We mentioned a strong lower body, and I think it really shows in pass protection. Jakcson has a really strong anchor and does a nice job of holding his own in the passing game. He's got great hand placement, but it's what he does in his lower half. He anchors so well in pass sets, and it really impressed me as to what he could be as a pass protector in the NFL. As an athlete in the run game, Jakcson is absolutely phenomenal. He moves so well for the position and does such a good job of climbing the second level and helping clear running lanes. He was able to consistently land impact blocks in the run game, and I love to see that. He has fantastic burst and quickness off the line of scrimmage, and I think that helps profile him at guard in the NFL. Some people have questioned the hip tightness and his foot speed, but from the tape I have watched, I really don't see that being an issue for him. He may be a little bit stiff at times, but I think he's a very good mover, and I don't really see it being an issue for him. Jakcson is one of the least sexy offensive linemen in the draft class. He does a lot of things well, but I wouldn't say he's really amazing at any one thing. On the contrary, there aren't a whole lot of weaknesses in his game either. I think he did overextend in the run game, and he had some whiffs from time to time that I would like to see him improve on at the next level and do a better job of making contact with a man. Another area I want to see improve with Jakcson is that I don't necessarily see a finishing mentality. He is a player who does tend to disengage a little bit too early, and that's one of my biggest red flags with offensive linemen. I value players who play with a mean streak, and I just didn't really see that a ton from Donovan Jackson. The other area of concern I have with Jakcson is going to be his feet. A note that I had on Jakcson was that, particularly in the run game, it feels like his feet just stop moving. He doesn't keep his feet churning to try and finish the block, and I don't love to see that. It's not a major issue, but it is certainly something to note with him. Donovan Jackson is a really good offensive lineman prospect. He's shown versatility this year at playing both left guard and left tackle, and I think he has some really solid athleticism with a safe floor in both the pass and run game. He's a very safe prospect to me, and he's my number 3 interior offensive lineman in the draft and my number 67 overall prospect. I know people are going to try and say Jakcson could be a tackle because of the success he's had this year, and I could see it. The length, the size, the athleticism, it all works well, but I think his athletic profile and his overall frame fit better at guard. We mentioned he can be stiff in his hips at times, and I don't love that at tackle for him. He's such a good run blocker in space, and unless he's playing an outside zone, I just don't really know that he would be utilized that way as a tackle. I think you put him at guard and just let him eat against NFL linebackers. My player comparison for Jakcson is New York Jets guard John Simpson. Simpson had a decent season for the Jets this year, and he's had some success as a run blocker throughout his career. Both Simpson and Jakcson are bigger guards, but maybe a tad stiff in their lower half. Both of them are also really good pass protectors, they're good on the move as run blockers, and I could see Jakcson having a very similar impact to John Simpson at the next level. Donovan Jackson is an unsung hero. He's been an incredibly valuable piece to the Ohio State offense this year, and without him stepping in at left tackle in the major ways that he has, I don't know that this team would be playing for a national championship. He's going to be a really big riser throughout the pre-draft process, and I'm a big fan of his game. And ultimately, I believe that Donovan Jackson will be a top 75 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.